Is your mind a battlefield, a relentless clash between anxieties, distractions, and that never-ending to-do list? Do you ever yearn for a sense of calm amidst the chaos, a way to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and purpose? What if I told you there's an ancient philosophy, a treasure trove of wisdom that can equip you with the tools to conquer that inner turmoil and find lasting peace? In this episode, we're diving deep into the Stoic art of mastering your mind. We'll explore how these wise philosophers from ancient Greece and Rome tackled the challenges of life with resilience, reason, and a profound understanding of the human mind. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to unlock the secrets of perception, knowledge, and self-control. Are you ready to transform your mind into a sanctuary of clarity and strength? If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Let's spread the Stoic wisdom and help others master their minds too. Let's begin. 1. The discipline of perception. All right, let's dive into the first key to mastering your mind, the discipline of perception. Now, before you start picturing yourself in a martial arts dojo, balancing on one leg while catching flies with chopsticks, let me clarify. The Stoics weren't talking about physical discipline here. They were talking about training your mind to see the world clearly, to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. Think of it like this. Imagine you're wearing a pair of glasses that are smudged and dirty. You're looking out at the world, but your vision is blurry, distorted, and unclear. You might bump into things, miss important details, and misinterpret what you see. But when you clean those glasses, what a difference. The world suddenly comes into focus, sharp and vibrant. That's what the discipline of perception is all about. Cleaning the lens of your mind, removing the smudges of bias, prejudice, and assumptions that cloud your judgment. It's about seeing the world as it truly is, not as you wish it to be or fear it might be. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." In other words, it's not the external events themselves that cause us suffering, but our interpretations of those events. For example, let's say you get stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. You could choose to get angry and frustrated, cursing the other drivers and feeling your blood pressure rise. Or you could choose to accept the situation, put on some music, and use the time to relax or catch up on a podcast. The situation is the same, but your perception of it makes all the difference. So, how do you actually cultivate this discipline of perception? Well, it starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and judgments throughout the day. Are they based on facts, or are they colored by your emotions, biases, or assumptions? For example, let's say you have a friend who cancels plans at the last minute. Your initial reaction might be to feel hurt and rejected, assuming they don't value your friendship. But with a disciplined perception, you might pause and consider other possibilities. Perhaps they had a genuine emergency, or maybe they're going through a difficult time. Another key aspect of the discipline of perception is focusing on what truly matters. In our fast-paced, consumer-driven world, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of external things, money, possessions, status, and approval. But the Stoics believed that true happiness lies in cultivating inner virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. The philosopher Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, true wealth lies not in the abundance of possessions, but in the contentment of the soul. So, my friends, cultivate the discipline of perception. Clean the lens of your mind. focus on what truly matters, and see the world with clarity and wisdom. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." 2. The liberating power of knowledge. All right, folks, let's talk about knowledge. Not just the kind you get from textbooks and lectures, but the kind that truly empowers you, the kind that sets your mind free. The Stoics believed that knowledge is the key to freedom, the foundation for living a wise and fulfilling life. Now you might be thinking, but I thought Stoicism was about accepting what you can't control. Doesn't that mean accepting ignorance? Not quite. The Stoics weren't advocating for blissful ignorance. They saw knowledge as a tool for understanding the world, for making informed choices, and for living in accordance with nature. Think of it like this. Imagine you're navigating a dense forest. Without a map or compass, you're likely to get lost, wander in circles, and stumble into danger. But with knowledge of the terrain, the landmarks, and the direction you need to go, you can navigate with confidence and reach your destination. Knowledge is like that map and compass for life. It helps you understand the terrain of your own mind, the landmarks of your values, and the direction you need to go to live a fulfilling life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "Only the educated are free." He believed that education is not just about accumulating facts, but about developing wisdom, critical thinking, and the ability to discern truth from falsehood. For example, let's say you're faced with a difficult decision. With knowledge, you can gather information, weigh the pros and cons, and make an informed choice that aligns with your values. Without knowledge, you're more likely to make impulsive decisions based on fear, emotion, or misinformation. Now, the Stoics weren't just talking about book smarts. They believed that true knowledge encompasses a wide range of disciplines, including philosophy, ethics, logic, physics, and even the arts. They saw knowledge as a holistic pursuit, a way to understand the interconnectedness of all things. The philosopher Seneca beautifully captured this idea when he wrote, "The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled." Knowledge is not about passively absorbing information, but about actively engaging with ideas, questioning assumptions, and seeking deeper understanding. So, how do you actually cultivate this liberating power of knowledge? Well, it starts with curiosity. Be a lifelong learner, always eager to explore new ideas, challenge your beliefs, and expand your horizons. Read books, listen to podcasts, engage in conversations with people who have different perspectives. But knowledge isn't just about accumulating information. It's about applying that knowledge to your life, making wise choices, and living in accordance with your values. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." So, my friends, embrace the liberating power of knowledge. Seek wisdom, cultivate understanding, and use your knowledge to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and purpose. As the philosopher Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." 3. The art of the strategic. Know, all right, let's talk about a tiny word with immense power. No. It might seem like a simple word, but mastering the art of saying no can be a game changer in your quest for a clearer, more fulfilling life. The Stoics understood that saying yes to everything can lead to a cluttered existence filled with obligations, distractions, and commitments that drain your energy and pull you away from what truly matters. Think of it like this. Imagine your life is a garden. Every time you say yes to something, a social event, a new project, a favor for a friend. You're planting a seed in that garden. Now some of those seeds might blossom into beautiful flowers, enriching your life with joy and connection. But others might turn out to be weeds, choking the life out of your precious plants and leaving you feeling overwhelmed and depleted. The Stoics believed in being selective about what we allow into our lives, just as a gardener carefully chooses which seeds to plant. They understood that saying no is not about being selfish or unkind, but about protecting your time, energy, and mental space. The philosopher Seneca emphasized this when he said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We all have a limited amount of time and energy, and it's up to us to choose how we spend those precious resources. So, how do you actually master the art of the strategic no? Well, it starts with recognizing your priorities. What are the things that truly matter to you? What are your values, your goals, your passions? Once you have a clear understanding of your priorities, it becomes easier to say no to things that don't align with them. For example, let's say you're invited to a social event that you're not really interested in attending. You could say yes out of obligation or fear of missing out. Or you could politely decline and use that time to pursue a hobby, spend time with loved ones, or simply relax and recharge. Now, saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. You can decline an invitation or request with grace and kindness. You can say something like, "Thank you so much for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it this time," or "I appreciate you asking, but I'm not able to take on any new commitments right now." The key is to be honest and assertive without feeling the need to over-explain or apologize. Remember, you have the right to protect your time and energy. The philosopher Epictetus offered this advice. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. In other words, don't worry about what others might think if you say no. Focus on what's best for you, even if it means going against the grain. So, my friends, cultivate the art of the strategic no. Declutter your life by saying yes to what truly matters and no to what doesn't. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Fourth, the Stoic Trinity: perception, action, will. All right, folks, let's talk about the Stoic Trinity, the three interconnected disciplines that form the foundation of Stoic philosophy: perception, action, and will. Think of these as the three pillars of a balanced and fulfilling life, each supporting the others in a harmonious dance. Perception. As we discussed earlier, perception is about seeing the world clearly, without the distortions of our biases and judgments. It's about recognizing what is within our control and what is not, and focusing our energy on the former. Action. Action is about taking aligned action based on our clear perception. It's about living in accordance with our values, pursuing our goals with purpose, and contributing to the well-being of others. Will. Will is about accepting what we cannot control, surrendering to the flow of life, and finding peace in the present moment. It's about cultivating resilience in the face of challenges and finding meaning even in adversity. The Stoics believed that by mastering these three disciplines, we can live a life of virtue, wisdom, and fulfillment. They saw these disciplines as interconnected, each influencing and supporting the others. Think of it like this. Imagine you're an archer aiming for a target. Perception is like having a clear vision of the target, free from distractions. Action is like drawing back the bow and releasing the arrow with skill and precision. And will is like accepting where the arrow lands, whether it hits the bullseye or not. Now, let's explore each of these disciplines in a bit more detail. Perception. The Stoics believed that our perceptions shape our reality. If we see the world through a lens of negativity, fear, and judgment, we're likely to experience more negativity, fear, and judgment. But if we cultivate a clear and objective perception, we can see the world with more clarity, wisdom, and compassion. Action. The Stoics were not passive observers of life. They believed in taking action, in living a life of purpose and contribution. But they also emphasized the importance of taking right action, action that is aligned with our values, our reason, and the greater good. Will. The Stoics recognized that we can't control everything that happens to us. There will be setbacks, challenges, and unexpected events that throw us off course. But by cultivating a strong will, we can accept these challenges with grace, learn from them, and emerge even stronger. The philosopher Epictetus emphasized the importance of will when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." We can't always choose our circumstances, but we can always choose our response. So how do you actually cultivate the Stoic Trinity in your life? Well, it starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. Are you seeing the world clearly? Are you taking aligned action? Are you accepting what you cannot control? The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings known as Meditations, offered guidance on practicing the Stoic Trinity. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think of the Stoic Trinity as a set of tools for navigating the complexities of life. Perception helps you see the world clearly, action empowers you to make a difference, and will allow you to find peace amidst the chaos. So, my friends, embrace the Stoic Trinity. Cultivate a clear perception, take aligned action, and accept what you cannot control. As the philosopher Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." 5. The compass of intention. All right, folks, let's talk about intention. Not just fleeting whims or vague desires, but the kind of intention that acts as a compass, guiding you through life with purpose and direction. The Stoics believed that living with intention is essential for a fulfilling life, for making choices that align with your values and moving towards your goals with clarity and focus. Think of it like this. Imagine you're setting out on a journey across a vast ocean. Without a compass to guide you, you're at the mercy of the winds and currents, drifting aimlessly and potentially getting lost at sea. But with a compass, you can chart your course, navigate through storms, and arrive safely at your destination. Intention is like that compass for life. It provides a sense of direction, a guiding principle that helps you make choices that align with your values and move you closer to your goals. The philosopher Seneca emphasized the importance of intention when he said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Without a clear sense of where you're headed, you're likely to wander aimlessly, wasting time and energy on pursuits that don't truly matter to you. So how do you actually set clear intentions? Well, it starts with self-reflection. Take some time to explore your values, your passions, and your aspirations. What truly matters to you? What kind of life do you want to create? Once you have a better understanding of your inner compass, you can start setting intentions that align with your values and guide your actions. These intentions can be big or small, short-term or long-term. For example, you might set an intention to be more present with your loved ones, to pursue a new hobby, to contribute to your community, or to simply cultivate more joy and gratitude in your daily life. The key is to be specific about your intentions and to write them down. This helps to solidify them in your mind and make them more tangible. You can also create a vision board with images and affirmations that represent your intentions. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote about the importance of living with intention. He advised, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can. If you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life, and stop being aimless. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. Think of your intentions as a roadmap for your life. They provide a framework for making decisions, taking action, and staying on course even when faced with challenges." Now, setting intentions is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that requires regular check-ins and adjustments. As you grow and evolve, your intentions might change, and that's okay. The key is to remain flexible and adaptable, always willing to course-correct as needed. So, my friends, embrace the power of intention. Set clear intentions that align with your values. Use them as a compass to guide your actions, and watch as your life unfolds with purpose and direction. As the philosopher Viktor Frankl said, man's search for meaning is the primary motivation in his life, and not a secondary rationalization of instinctual drives. 6. The cosmic perspective. All right, folks, let's zoom out for a moment and contemplate the vastness of the universe. I'm talking about adopting the cosmic perspective, a view that expands beyond our everyday worries and connects us to the grand scheme of things. The Stoics believed that understanding our place in the cosmos can bring a sense of awe, humility, and even tranquility. Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing on a mountaintop, gazing out at a breathtaking panorama of mountains, valleys, and forests stretching as far as the eye can see. Suddenly, your everyday concerns seem insignificant in comparison to the grandeur of nature. You feel a sense of awe, a humbling realization of your place in the vastness of the world. That's the essence of the cosmic perspective. It's about recognizing that we are a tiny part of a vast and interconnected universe, a universe that operates according to natural laws and cycles that are far beyond our control. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the cosmic perspective. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." He recognized that our time on this earth is limited, and that focusing on virtue and living in accordance with nature is the path to a meaningful life. Now, you might be thinking, but how can contemplating the vastness of the universe possibly help me with my everyday problems? Well, the cosmic perspective can offer a sense of perspective and detachment from our worries. When we realize that our problems are often insignificant in the grand scheme of things, it can help us to let go of anxieties and find peace. For example, let's say you're feeling stressed about a work deadline. By adopting the cosmic perspective, you might remind yourself that in the vastness of the universe, this deadline is just a tiny blip, a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of time. This doesn't mean you shouldn't take your work seriously, but it can help you to approach it with a calmer and more balanced mindset. The cosmic perspective can also help us to appreciate the interconnectedness of all things. We are all made of the same stardust, connected to each other and to the natural world in ways we may not fully comprehend. This realization can foster a sense of empathy, compassion, and responsibility for our planet and its inhabitants. The philosopher Seneca captured this idea when he wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He recognized that our time on this earth is precious and that we should strive to live each moment with intention and purpose. So, how do you actually cultivate the cosmic perspective? Well, it starts with curiosity and a sense of wonder. Spend time in nature, gaze at the stars, read about cosmology and astronomy, and contemplate the mysteries of the universe. But the cosmic perspective is not just about intellectual understanding. It's about cultivating a sense of awe, humility, and interconnectedness. It's about recognizing that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves, and that our actions have ripple effects throughout the cosmos. So, my friends, embrace the cosmic perspective. Expand your awareness beyond your everyday concerns. Connect with the vastness of the universe and find peace in your place within the grand scheme of things. As the philosopher Carl Sagan once said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." 7. The Minds Toolkit. All right, folks, let's dive into the fascinating world of the mind. The Stoics weren't just philosophers. They were keen observers of human psychology. They recognized that our minds are complex tools, capable of incredible feats of reasoning, creativity, and problem-solving. But like any tool, the mind needs to be understood and utilized effectively to reach its full potential. The Stoics identified 7 key functions of the mind. 1. Perception. As we've already discussed, perception is about accurately grasping the world around us, free from distortions and biases. 2. Assent. This is the ability to judge whether a perception is true or false, to distinguish between reality and illusion. 3. Impulse. This is the initial inclination to act or not act in response to a perception. 4. Desire. This is a longing for something perceived as good or beneficial. 5. Aversion. This is a repulsion from something perceived as bad or harmful. 6. Reason. This is the ability to think logically, make sound judgments, and understand the consequences of our actions. 7. Will. This is the power to choose our actions and direct our attention, even in the face of challenges and distractions. The Stoics believed that by understanding these functions and how they interact, we can gain greater control over our minds and live more fulfilling lives. Think of it like this. Imagine your mind is a toolbox filled with different tools: a hammer, a screwdriver, a saw, and so on. Each tool has a specific purpose, and knowing how to use each tool effectively is essential for completing a task successfully. Similarly, the 7 functions of the mind are like tools in your mental toolbox. Perception helps you gather information. Assent helps you evaluate that information. Impulse and desire motivate you to act. Aversion helps you avoid harm. Reason guides your choices and will empowers you to follow through on your intentions. Now, the Stoics didn't believe that all these functions are created equal. They placed a high value on reason, seeing it as the guiding principle that should govern our other mental functions. They believed that by using reason to evaluate our perceptions, impulses, and desires, we can make wise choices that lead to a virtuous and fulfilling life. The philosopher Epictetus emphasized this when he said, "The beginning of philosophy is the recognition of the conflict between opinions. The second step is the search for the origin of this conflict. The third is the criticism of the criterion, that is, the method of resolving the conflict." So, how do you actually utilize the Minds Toolkit effectively? Well, it starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts, emotions, and impulses. Notice how your mind responds to different situations and challenges. Then, start practicing using your reason to evaluate your perceptions and impulses. Ask yourself, is this perception accurate? Is this impulse aligned with my values? What are the potential consequences of this action? For example, let's say you feel an impulse to indulge in a sugary treat. By using your reason, you might recognize that while the treat might provide temporary pleasure, it could also have negative consequences for your health and well-being. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a treat, but it means making a conscious and informed choice. The philosopher Seneca offered this advice. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. By pausing and using our reason, we can avoid making impulsive decisions that we might later regret. So, my friends, explore the Minds Toolkit. Understand the 7 functions of the mind, use your reason to guide your choices, and cultivate a mind that is clear, focused, and resilient. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. 8. Breaking free from addiction. All right, folks, let's tackle a challenging topic: addiction. Now, when we hear the word addiction, we often think of substances like drugs or alcohol. But addiction can take many forms. It could be an unhealthy attachment to social media, a compulsive need for approval, a dependence on work, or even an obsession with unhealthy foods. The Stoics recognized that addiction in any form is a form of slavery, a loss of control over our own minds and actions. But here's the good news. The Stoics also believed that we have the power to break free from these chains. They saw addiction not as a moral failing, but as a result of misguided judgments and unhealthy habits. By understanding the nature of addiction and applying Stoic principles, we can reclaim our freedom and live a more fulfilling life. The philosopher Epictetus offered a powerful insight into addiction when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Addiction, in essence, is a loss of self-mastery, a surrender to external forces that control our thoughts and behaviors. Now, you might be thinking, but addiction is a disease. It's not that simple. And you're right. Addiction can have complex biological and psychological roots. But the Stoics believed that even in the face of these challenges, we still have a choice. We can choose to feed our addictions, or we can choose to starve them. So, how do you actually break free from addiction? Well, it starts with awareness. Recognize the patterns of your addiction, the triggers that lead you to engage in unhealthy behaviors, and the consequences of those behaviors. For example, let's say you're addicted to social media. You might notice that you tend to reach for your phone whenever you're feeling bored, lonely, or stressed. You might also recognize that excessive social media use leaves you feeling drained, anxious, and disconnected from real life. Once you've identified the patterns of your addiction, it's time to start challenging them. This might involve setting limits on your social media use, finding healthier ways to cope with stress, or seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist. The Stoics believed in the power of reason and discipline to overcome addiction. They encouraged us to cultivate self-awareness, to question our impulses, and to make conscious choices that align with our values. The philosopher Seneca offered this advice: "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Breaking free from addiction requires letting go of old habits and beliefs, creating space for new, healthier patterns to emerge. But breaking free from addiction is not just about willpower, it's also about finding meaning and purpose in life. When we have a strong sense of why we want to overcome our addiction, it becomes easier to stay motivated and committed to the journey. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote about the importance of finding meaning in life. He said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, our challenges can become opportunities for growth and transformation. So, my friends, if you're struggling with addiction, know that you're not alone. Embrace the Stoic principles of self-awareness, reason, and discipline. Find meaning and purpose in your life. And remember, as the philosopher Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. 9. Navigating control. All right, folks, let's talk about control, or rather, the art of recognizing what we can and cannot control. This is a core principle in Stoicism, and it's essential for mastering our minds and finding tranquility in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering stems from trying to control things that are ultimately outside our grasp: the weather, the opinions of others, the past, the future. They taught that true freedom comes from focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, our judgments, our actions. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a gardener tending to a beautiful flower bed. You can control the soil, the water, the sunlight, and the care you give to each plant. But you can't control the weather, the pests, or the occasional curious squirrel that might decide to dig up your bulbs. Similarly, in life, there are certain things within our sphere of influence, and there are things that are simply beyond our control. Trying to control the uncontrollable is like trying to hold back the tide. It's a futile effort that only leads to frustration and exhaustion. The philosopher Epictetus captured this idea beautifully when he said, "Some things are within our control and some things are not. Within our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Not within our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." So, how do you actually navigate this terrain of control? Well, it starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to the things that trigger your stress and anxiety. Are you worrying about things that you can't possibly influence? Are you trying to force outcomes that are beyond your grasp? For example, let's say you're feeling anxious about an upcoming job interview. You can control your preparation, your attitude, and your presentation. But you can't control the interviewer's questions, the other candidates, or the ultimate hiring decision. By recognizing what you can and cannot control, you can focus your energy on the things that truly matter: your own actions, your own responses, your own inner state. This doesn't mean you should become passive or indifferent to the world around you. It simply means choosing your battles wisely and focusing on what you can influence. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offered guidance on navigating control. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think of it like this. You're the captain of your own ship, navigating the sometimes stormy seas of life. You can't control the weather, but you can control the direction of your ship, the sails you set, and the way you respond to the challenges that arise. So, my friends, embrace the Stoic art of navigating control. Focus on what you can influence, let go of what you cannot, and steer your ship towards a life of purpose and tranquility. As the philosopher Seneca said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." 10. The inner sanctuary. All right, folks, let's wrap up this exploration of mastering your mind with a concept that's close to my metaphorical heart: the inner sanctuary. Imagine a place within you, a quiet refuge amidst the storms of life, a place where you can find peace, clarity, and wisdom. That's your inner sanctuary, and the Stoics believed that cultivating this inner space is essential for living a fulfilling and tranquil life. Now, this inner sanctuary isn't a physical place. It's a state of mind, a sanctuary built on the foundations of wisdom, virtue, and self-awareness. It's a place where you can retreat from the chaos of the external world and reconnect with your true self. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about the importance of cultivating an inner sanctuary. He said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." He recognized that true peace and tranquility cannot be found in external things, but only within ourselves. So, how do you actually build this inner sanctuary? Well, it starts with cultivating wise judgment. The Stoics believed that wisdom is the key to a good life, and wise judgment is the ability to discern what is truly important, what is within our control, and what aligns with our values. Think of it like this. Imagine your inner sanctuary is a beautiful garden. Wise judgment is like the gardener, carefully tending to the plants, weeding out negative thoughts and emotions, and nurturing the seeds of virtue and wisdom. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of self-awareness in building our inner sanctuary. By understanding our own strengths and weaknesses, our values and motivations, we can create a space that truly reflects our authentic selves. The philosopher Epictetus encouraged self-reflection when he said, "Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." It's about understanding your own nature and living in accordance with it. Another key element of the inner sanctuary is tranquility. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent to the world. It means cultivating a sense of inner peace that allows you to navigate the challenges of life with equanimity and grace. The philosopher Seneca captured this idea when he wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." It's about finding contentment in the present moment without clinging to the past or worrying about the future. So, how do you actually cultivate tranquility? Well, it's a practice that involves mindfulness, meditation, and cultivating a Stoic mindset. It's about learning to let go of what you cannot control, accepting the present moment as it is, and finding peace within yourself. Think of your inner sanctuary as a refuge, a place where you can retreat from the storms of life and find solace in the stillness of your own being. It's a place where you can connect with your values, your wisdom, and your inner strength. So, my friends, cultivate your inner sanctuary. Build it on the foundations of wise judgment, self-awareness, and tranquility. Make it a place of refuge, a source of strength, and a sanctuary for your soul. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And there we have it, my friends. We've reached the end of our journey, exploring the Stoic art of clarity and perception. But remember, this is just the beginning. We've learned how to tame our wild thoughts and steer them towards inner peace, how to navigate life with a clear compass guiding us towards our goals and aspirations. We've also learned how to break free from the chains of addiction and face challenges with strength of will and greatness of spirit. But do you know what's most important of all? It's realizing that true power lies within us, in our ability to choose how we see the world, how we interact with it, and how we shape our reality with our thoughts and actions. So, don't let the noise of the external world drown out your inner voice. Don't let the shackles of the past or the anxieties of the future prevent you from living in the present moment with all its beauty and wonder. Go forth, my friends, with confidence and determination towards the life you deserve, the life you've always dreamed of. You are capable of achieving everything you set your mind to, only if you believe in yourselves and your abilities. Be the masters of your lives, the rulers of your thoughts, the heroes of your own stories. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Stoic Saga for more videos on Stoicism, self-improvement, and personal growth. See you soon.